to Literary Gladiators Music Week, the show where we discuss and debate
all of its forms.
Lyrics in all of their forms.
Oh, you're making me here.
If it's written work, it's game.
Like chess.
Let's meet the panel.
I'm Trevor.
I'm Ari.
I'm Charlie.
And I'm Josh.
Hi.
And today we are going to be going over a wonderful gem of 1960s music. The year 1969 brought to us so many extraordinary memorable hits. The Fifth Dimensions, Aquarius, Let the Sun Shine In.
Chicago, 250624, you know.
There's the Archies, Sugar Sugar came out in 1969.
I love Sugar, and I know where you're going with that, yes.
Did the Hollies bus stop come out in 69 or was that 68?
That may have been before that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
but there was He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother.
That definitely came out in 69.
That was, holy cow.
But
I love that song.
probably the one that sticks out in my mind the most, I would say Ari can attest, is the one we're going over today, and that is in the year 2525 by Zager and Evans.
Exordium and Terminus.
Yep, that's the addition. That's the
Parentheses.
The parentheses, which translates into beginning and end.
Yes.
Already. How do you think that this song is structured lyrically?
It's awesome. Like, see, I'm actually being serious about it. It's very good.
Yeah, I can't agree more.
I like how it's just simple and to the point, and he describes so much in just 4 lines. Act 3 lines because you don't really count the year as a line. It's just in the year, bam, 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 and it's just every line that he gives is straight to the point. It is it's saying
and no sugar.
It's basically different things that could happen, but all leading to the same point, at least until you get to 75-10, in which case he changes it.
It's a rhyme scheme.
Yeah.
And the question I have at hand is, it feels like all of these could very well happen and may be happening at the same time.
Or has already happened.
The only reason that they use the years is because of rhyme scheme. You start with 2525 because it is a year that makes you think of the future.
Yes.
And then you just keep using years that sound like one.
And it's not like 2001: A Space Odyssey where it's too close to, and then once you get to it, it doesn't happen or it doesn't really happen. This is like a future, like a very far future.
Because in 1969,
they're doing a good job playing it safe.
Yeah, and in 1969,
Can I borrow your lyrics for a sec?
that was, if you think about it, that was roughly. I'm not that good at math, but about 40 years ago, maybe 39, 40 years ago. Okay, that's quite a while. Okay, add another 10 years, you're at half a century. Okay, so that's you know. You first of all, you don't. When we all go out to our cars and to go home and whatnot, we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if my car's already going to be on fire, unless it already is, and I don't know already.
It's kind of like the other day when my hubcap was stolen.
If you want to think outside the box,
I like boxes.
These
cereal.
These things are already happening.
Yeah, they are.
The fact that you're not going to need your teeth or your eyes.
Damn, they've already got their artificial stuff.
We look more
at
our phones
these things
than we look at each other.
And when you're looking at somebody, this is something
not me specifically.
Me and Trevor have phones where you don't really do that. I was actually talking with my girlfriend the other day, explaining how many friends I have that refuse to call people anymore. All they do is text. Yeah, exactly. Like I said to her, I'm like, well, you call me maybe once a month if something's happening, and at least you don't only text. Like you can't really generate emotions off text.
Absolutely.
And the emojis don't only do so much.
So I think a question, if you don't mind me bringing this up, a question here is not necessarily which one do you think is the most realistic, but which of these verses legitimately scares you the most? I know my answer.
Mine is
if you want me
the
to
one
go
that's
first.
the one that's happening right now is 9595, where we've taken everything this old Earth can give and we put nothing back.
Yeah.
Or if we do, it's really scarce and not enough.
When I hear that verse, I don't necessarily think of physical Earth. I'm thinking of like we've taken like it's like we've taken not necessarily the physicality of the earth, but
So
like
you're not saying like the resources,
no
like water, because hey, you know, all the water we use alone.
It's like he's taken everything out of the earth, including mental and
Oh, well,
social and that kind of stuff. That's what I think. I think it's just a
Right.
general thing. The one that really kind of bothers me the most, and maybe you guys can agree with me, is 65. You pick your son and pick your daughter too from the bottom of a long glass tube.
That's happening.
It's
too.
already, and it has been happening.
Exactly. But the thing is that
That's that.
I know I have a lot of friends who identify with disabilities, and they're really good friends of mine, and they are themselves because of their disabilities. Now, let's say you have an option, and I think I've talked about this with my mom before. Imagine if you had the option to take whoever you want from the bottom of a tube, knowing what they would be to grow up. I don't think there'd be any more disabilities, and people would all be the same. And that's what I'm worried about.
But the other question at hand is, by that time, I think people are going to be so lazy that they don't want the responsibility of children. So the ones that are being bred in the long glass tube, it's going to be bred by the higher ups. Who
That's true. I wasn't basing it off the year.
So what you're saying is accurate. I think that what you're saying is very much in line to that idea of sameness. But I feel that if people are not going to want to take care of anything, let alone children,
then by 65, there's going to be nobody left.
It's going to be the people that are deemed in charge that are going to breed test tube offspring and breed them.
Or even worse, they might go to like something like the herd principle, where all the women would be allowed to live, but the men would just kill each other off. It would be horrible. What do you have to say about this, Trevor?
It's all.
You can read my handwriting, right?
It's all. It's all quite a nerve-wracking experience in the thought process, and I have to admit, when I had first actually heard this in its original form, I was a little bit curious because it sounded a lot like a literary work by a man named Aldous Huxley, Brave New World.
Mm-hmm.
And out of a bizarre curiosity, I actually did some mathematics and subtracted 632. There's the relevance of this. 632 years after Ford AF is the year that the story took place. So I subtracted that from 2525, and I got, 632, that'd be 2523, 2493, 1893, which I think one of the Ford family was actually born around that time. I cannot remember if it was Henry or one of his sons or what.
I don't think it was Henry Ford. I think he was born earlier. Maybe his son, Etzel.
And in any case, it just actually kind of scared me. What if Zager and Evans had actually been reading that and actually knew what was coming? Or rather, in our present day, what had already come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
Aldous Huxley, in one of his commentaries for a radio dramatization of it, commented that if he was writing the story in the year of the 50s rather than the 20s, he would have dated the story not 600 years in the future, but at the most 200.
Does anyone else also agree with me that these verses are out of order?
I just think that they can all be applied to the same time. I think the only reason
I know
years
that,
are,
but like, could they be perceived as being out of order?
So instead of something happening in 6510, it's happening in 65:9.
No. I mean, like 65. Sorry, 45. Like that seems it could be earlier. I think 25 actually technically should be later because it's saying if man is still alive.
That's the key.
I would assume man would still be alive in 25, but
and it's
in some of the
2016,
later,
folks. We got some time left.
But
I think the
verses,
35 probably can make sense at the beginning.
yeah.
That's
I
probably
think
the earliest.
I think we would lose. Granted, I don't know if we'd lose what we would lose first. The way that you're evolved, we'd probably lose our arms and legs because, like in Wall-E, they're all in these like these hover cars, and they're just they're just tubs of slime like molasses swamp,
Yeah.
riding around,
Bless you.
eating this sugary
Stuff that I wouldn't even go
substance
near.
while watching TV.
Here's the interest. All right, so the interesting part of this song comes later, in 75:10. It basically switches from a scientific song to not a religious song, but theological,
Yeah,
pretty much.
philosophical. And it's like,
And they're both and they're connected with one another. And the reason that they switch to 10 as opposed to is for rhyme scheming, because I think that they
Yeah.
found a greater match.
yeah, I think that then and 10 rhyme.
Me too.
Mhm.
I mean, is it? I don't know. If
Head
it's,
is
head
not-
is it's head, not hand.
it's just vowel.
Head is similar to 10 as well. It's
And
similar enough.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's a slant rhyme, which you know.
Another interesting thing to take note of is after Maybe It's Only Yesterday, they sing the song. They start singing the song over again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, I actually read somewhere that during the studio recording of that, they actually played the song twice through, and the reason they did that is because they wanted to see if the first one sounded better, they could fade out the second one, and if the second one sounded better, they could use a cold ending.
Mm.
That's what I've read.
But the way that they ended it, it's just really the fact that it's a continuum.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to say is that was done by accident.
Mm.
It's a good accident. It's a
Yeah.
happy accident, but it was an accident because
Oh, now I know.
because Evans was it? I think it was Evans who said he said that we decided to do the song twice, and if the song sounded better the first time, we'd fade it out,
Yeah.
and if it sounded better the second time, we'd have a cold ending. Which means
Richard
it
Evans is the one
Yeah.
that wrote the song. Dennis Zager was the lead singer.
Hmm.
Ari wanted to make mention to the
Yeah.
last verse. Now it's been 10,000 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically saying all this has happened, and man, what he never knew, man's reign is through, but through eternal night, the twinkling of the starlight. But then the last line, as Josh had mentioned earlier, says, maybe it's only yesterday. So this goes back to a small topic I want to talk about. It's a little bit philosophical, but I'm not going to get too much into it. It's kind of like, are they using the word years as actual years, or does it just feel like years?
Mm.
Because if you're saying maybe it's only yesterday, could you be saying that all these things have happened within the last year singular? And
What can
because
happen in a year?
Seems like a lot was happening, because you
Yeah.
can
New-
really look at it.
yeah, because
so
they
many
got like
different
new things, new discoveries, inventions, and like it's saying like, oh, man's reign is through, but that might just be an opinion, not necessarily a fact.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of this in here are either uncertainties or opinions. They're
Or prophecies, you can say.
prophecies too. Yeah, they're not facts. So if the rest of the song isn't fact, what makes you think the last verse is going to be a fact either? So the point I'm trying to make is that everything that happens in the last verse could be something that legitimately happens within a 1 year, 2 year period,
Mm-hmm.
instead of it being as big. And that's why it's called exordium terminus, because it's the beginning and the end as if it was together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we-
And that's what the song is all about. The idea that they are
And maybe it's only
meant to be
yesterday.
seen together.
Maybe it's only yesterday. Yesterday, yes, technically it would mean, like, let's say today's Tuesday, it would be Monday. Now, in theory, we can say yesterday. We know the word yesteryear. Okay, things that happen and over many moons ago, stuff like that. Maybe all of this stuff has already happened, and it's just on a cycle because time is continuous.
Yeah.
The time does not even need to be
Well,
at the forefront. It's
yeah.
the content.
Yeah,
I was
it's
never
what
good at
happens.
science, but
It's what happens during that time.
exactly
Mhm.
because in 365 days, a lot can happen. Quite a lot can happen. You can build a skyscraper. Might not be exactly finished, but you can have a skyscraper built. You can have You can have maybe, if you all really worked hard enough, some of the roads I can't say that. But no, you can have a small lake dug out. I'm not saying nothing huge, but a lot can happen in a year. You can, and in a case of this song, you can cut down 1,000 trees and then plant maybe one or two more. I don't know. That's a little.
You got anything, Trevor?
You can build a whole house.
Maybe. It almost sounds like they should have added another thing into the subtitle: Exordium, Terminus, Ouroboros. Because what could happen could very well happen again, and who's to say that it hasn't happened before?
Now terminus is end, right? Terminus
is end.
To terminate,
Exordium
really.
is beginning.
Yeah.
And then Ouroboros means infinity.
Okay.
Mhm.
But with
Ouroboros capacitor.
Mm.
Check out my capacitor.
Mhm.
They sing I'm fat.
No, I didn't say that at all.
I lost weight, folks. I know. The camera always adds 10 pounds, and that's a fact.
Well, what I basically mean though is, like I said, anything could have happened before, could have happened again, could still be happening, and for all I know, it could very well be that what's happened before caused what happens now, and what happens now could cause what happens in the future.
That's right, because when you never go back, a lot of you might right now are probably sitting behind your computer or your whatever, and you're probably thinking, get those scotch, get something strong.
And what could happen in the future could happen in the future. Because I'm rumor from the double future.
Because now I need a drink.
Already.
But
Anyway.
in any case, just because it's already been prescribed doesn't necessarily mean it will happen in the future. And again, back to Aldous Huxley in the radio adaptation of Brave New World, he says, "The choice, after all, is always in our own hands."
Mm.
Well, my drumsticks are in my hands right now, but I know
That's always the case. Dystopian works are meant to be a warning. This in itself can be seen as a warning, and it's a matter of what we do to prevent the warning from either happening or from coming about
or trying to
faster than
slow
it needs to be.
slowing it down.
Or repeating itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's repeating himself.
No, not repeat. No.
Stop
Whoops.
repeating it.
Already.
What do we got for
Final thoughts.
Final thought. Well, I wanted to just touch up. I know I might be going on a little too much, but let's say a meteor's coming toward Earth. How do we want to preserve Earth as much as we possibly can? We want. Let's say we can add another 25 years to Earth, and hey, a lot can happen in 25 years as well. A lot more.
I guess that could kind of be like Judgment Day, kind of,
Yeah.
except it takes place over 25 years.
Exactly.
With
bad.
Judgment Day, I never think it's one day. When people say Judgment Day, it's not one day.
It's
got to be an extended period of time.
Yeah, because basically, okay, kids, I'm leaving for about 10 years, or am I? And then and then they come back, and it's like, you.
Do you remember?
You know where I'm going with this.
Do you remember the Inquisitor from Red Dwarf?
Partially.
Okay, so there's this episode of one of my favorite TV shows called The Inquisitor. The show is called Red Dwarf, and what it is that there's a guy, a simulant. There's a simulant who is a robot, and he goes through time. And if someone has not lived their life to the fullest, he erases them and gives another sperm a chance to live.
Mm.
So in that case, that is basically Judgment Day for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not only does it get rid of the person who didn't do anything with their life, but it lets someone else who has never gotten a chance to live. So
Yeah, you got something there.
Mm-hmm.
And you got something there too.
yeah, it's a shoe.
That's a pun.
No, it's a shoe.
Oh, good.
Already. I'm going to be leaving links down below to the song, the lyrics, and I'm also going to include a blog post that I wrote about the song.
And I also, a long time ago, when I first was just doing music, I covered this song. I am going to upload it, and I'll send you the link, Josh, so you can put that on as well.
I'm looking
Sounds
forward to it. And if you need a drummer in the near future, let me know.
Oh no, it was a very empty version of it. It was like only 3 instruments total.
Already then, be sure to join us next time for another episode of Gladiators. For now, keep reading.
And listening to some music every now and then.
And keep thinking.
Keep reading.
And always eat something. Always eat every now and then.
And
Oh,
keep living.
Don't forget to use the hashtag LG Music Week
Oh, yes, that's right.
for, Don't forget to use that on social media, and yeah.